slow the pace of the game down and allow PRX to come to them, come through those walls where you get the decay damage, hit the snake bites where they're going to get vulnerable. And Com's got experience playing this agent too.
So fast. Up the gut towards the map, picking up the orbs. It's going to be the goal. A bit of emphasis placed as well onto the extremities, but only Forsaken to contain some of it. Drawing him over to Jiggle Peak. There's no way he's going for this many shots and repeated attempts at that. Goodness me, man.
Trying to draw out as much utility as possible here. They don't have the Killjoy, they don't have snake bites. This is a very weak C site.
Trailblazer combined with the Boombot. All being utilized together here. A couple of detonations, but the Nanoswarm delays them. Over the top, gonna be Dizzy. Paranoia used in response to it. Cage cuts them up though on, well, KG. They managed to swarm into position, left up to just Jing. It's a solo player here towards the back of the site, and yeah, he might have a frenzy, but that's a little bit too much to overcome even for him. So, part of the course, pistol round, gained and won for EG.
And a really well-played C defense. They flood in, buying time with that single Nanoswarm that Boostio had given them while playing the other side of the map. And then relying on the Paranoia too to just delay. And look at the pathing here, going into their own cages in order to apply pressure.
Two right clicks, one left click.
It's not just PRX theory crafting on the fly.
What is he waffling about? The right click, two right clicks, one left click.
I believe it's like...
It's the faster fire rate, right, with a classic?
I think the idea is you put out as much DPS as possible, but a joke, I'm sure, to do with him trying to teach somebody else on the team how to use the classic most effectively.
Okay. Deep push position for Jorgamo. He's pulled down to util, hasn't he? Just with his presence. Even the wingman, that's a flash repeat, but my God, he almost pays for it. Damage. Definitely done. Backs away for the heal.
They're getting their money's worth out of Ethan's heal, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's 2 rounds in a row.
Trailblazer's now going to be used around this minute mark, so grabs that info. Collection of players.
And this looks like Boostio is going to dive through the door if it's a C hit.
It's going to be slow going though. They're already onto the side themselves. Paranoia right into the corner. They're all grouped up right to the side and jumping right clicks, doing some form of work. And they have managed to get themselves into the back of the side, but Ethan's covering the back angle along with Boostio. There's that slow siege and squeeze, denying everything.
And I also want to draw your attention to the fact that Com is using Nat's Viper Orb setup on C, which is so lovely for flood defending the C site. Instead of trying to hard anchor it with a turret and nanoswarms and snake bites, instead it allows people from Waterfall to run into C and help the players that are anchoring. So this clearly not just been thrown together on the fly. Of course, with everything that comes with Evil Geniuses, they've put some thought into it. Now, what can they do on the bonus round? There are a lot of ult orbs on this map, but I don't think Boostio is going to be able to get them all. They're very attack-sided.
Using util to clear through into rubble.
Jing, however, look at Jing just making a beeline for the ult orb.
He's hunting for it, the showstopper. There's nothing to stop him from picking it up. Just a bit of poking and prodding. The rest of EG are exploring deep into mid here. Forsaken was the one who's left to really contain that. A deeper push through, the A side's going to be gained for them, and Gathered now pushed up towards the deeper angles. Again, back pit, another fight to be taken. Forsaken so low, the damage through the wall is just spotted. Still Boostio, lay it down. Going to be able to finally take him out. Yes, they are.
Mind Freak not caught by the Trailblazer, able to take down Jorgamo, and it's only Ethan left to stand. Jing got the ult orb one way or another, and the rest of PRX having a very clean round. EG not able to win the bonus of both pistols that they've had in this match. Kind of tracks where they've been at towards the latter end of this tournament. That's not been their biggest strength, although it looked like it was going to catapult them to stardom at the start of Masters Tokyo.
So the gun's guarded. Ethan just opting into saving the full armor and the Bulldog.
My eyes are going to be on Jing for the next round, that player, because he's got Showstopper to try and open something up. And it's so much more difficult to play C-Flood defense when the opponent's using a Showstopper. You want to be running away, not towards it.
Yeah.
It opens up many different avenues around the map. And you can see take a glance bottom left, Demon 1 picking up the op, Com with an Odin. So Com's probably going to try and play off site, spam to defend the C site. Where Demon 1 takes a pick though, might well define the round.
Yeah, no one's actually going to be walking into that sight line though. Everybody grouped up towards A. And again, same util used, disrespecting. Over towards Rubble and Ruins. Just the satchels at work and it's easy to clear the way out. There's going to be the door switch tapped.
Within 10 seconds.
A little door being broken on top of it. Gathering space and time here. Seeing if they can take the fight to Boostio. Well, it is traded. Bit laboured, bit strained.
It's a good trade, but there goes the ult.
Yeah, ult gonna be missing. Trailblazer to set this one up as well. Spamming right down that angle. Com almost collecting a kill. They've gained space onto the site. With Boostio falling, all that util is faded. Ethan, he knows he's being pushed. Stage in his face. Forsaken just trying to get out of there. It's getting awkward. Man's still gonna go down. Get themselves into the post-plant situation. This flank. It's occurring as well. It's Mindfreak versus Jorgamo. It's an important one. It's going to define quite a bit. Where the rest of his team puts the squeeze on. Mindfreak collects that kill. It's going to remove all the danger from one of the extremities. Ethan, good adjustment with the aim, yet it's on point. It's on fire. PRX on all cylinders, really.
And that's another major round for PRX to win. They start out this map in the same way they started Fracture, by winning these important round 3, round 4 fights and halting EG's momentum. As soon as Boostio dies early, he's not the first death, but the second, it just opens the door to B. They can't play B retake very well because Demon 1's got an operator on board. And they're kind of relying on those nanoswarms to keep back the horde of PRX. So there goes the Odin investment, the operator investment.
Heavy Maya, now they're seeking a clash and a skirmish now. This time trying to put the hurt on a team that has just been taking this space for free. PRX meet their match in one capacity. CGRS falling, but it is again evened out. Suspect shown even more, just right past the Viper wall. Jing is not afraid of it. Now here comes the showstopper, combined with the neural theft. Demon 1 up in the air, skipping right around the side. His position was popped out from the neural theft, the second pop of it. Jing is just so damn confident, this guy, unrelenting.
Determined to make a statement here on Lotus. PRX picking this map for a reason. Jing's gonna show him why. 6-3, an opposite beginning for him on map 1 to map 2. Individual form really got swinging. And if you wanted a warm-up map, if you felt like your team needed a little bit of time to warm up on stage, what better map than Fracture, where EG are favored anyway? So now the operator, the Odin, come back out again. Similar kind of setup.
Players matching him though. That's a satchel play and a peek from Demon 1. He does land it. Jorgamo fully blinded up, jumping into the wall like a broken AI. It's gonna be met though, trying to offset it still. What a reaction and what a flick from Demon 1 still. Someone below him, he does not adjust the aim. It's not there in time, so 3 players left standing here for PRX. Boostio, the timing through the smoke, he's facing the opposite way. He was waiting for the flash timing, potentially hearing that util being used. Spam into the wall here, Com. Almost getting punished for it, but now backing away, realizing he has to save it. That full investment once more. Can't go another round where you just lose all your guns.
And PRX are punishing EG for going for these early pieces of aggression. Potter talked about how important it was that they just allowed PRX to play the game into them. And it feels like at the start of these rounds, EG are trying to make something happen. Round 1 and 2, Jorgamo was peeking out into C Mound and getting slightly punished, small amounts of damage, but not giving away a kill. There, he tries to do the same kind of thing to set up Demon 1 with the operator, but got full flash and just ended up walking into a wall. I know the EG guys were talking about Nats looking like a Yoru clone in one of their games. It can happen to anybody, I promise you.
Zero M was truly doing the most here. Trying to stop all the aggression that was coming his way, some nasty kills, but yeah, just couldn't quite find the right timing with that one.
Double Yoru clone.
PRX here, 4-2. Steady lead being gained and granted to them on Lotus.
And the Thrash online, an ultimate that they can get massive amounts of value out of, and one that most teams will not have anything prepared to deal with.
Just the one snake bite launched Sailed all the way through. Come on the double doors. Is he waiting for an orb tap? There it is. Gonna track it all over the place, almost claiming a kill here as the door rotates open. The door get tagged. Oh. There's no punish. Already players though in his face, right up in the open with the flash. It sets up Divine nicely for a cheeky little two-piece. Thresh from the back. Seeker's gonna be earned. Ethan already though has taken up the front section of the entirety of the site yet. Okay, brought down.
Boostio's got a rifle, and Mindfreak wants to take this fight. PRX have still got to be careful not to throw it away.
Jing. Shutting down that approach from the extremity. They know what Boostio is. The nade, yeah, forces him out into the open.
Clean.
Good util from Jing.
So, PRX combining, chaining their ultimates to be able to get another on the board. 5 in a row right now. EG with only the pistol and the follow-up. And once more, catching EG's players flashed. Obviously, Com's going for something there and getting a lot of value out of the Odin still. But they're not quick enough to be able to disengage from the aggression of PRX. You think back to what Coach Alex was saying, well, we either need to run away from their utility or run past it, run through it. At the moment, PRX have increased the tempo and gone forwards. They're running into Demon 1's operator in order to punish it. They're running into Com's Odin in order to get the punish there.
See the uncertainty just in the way that EG are playing. Like you said, you know, the players are getting caught with these weird, quirky timings. They don't quite know when to retreat and back away when the util comes through.
Too late for a 13-0, I'm afraid. But the momentum's good for it to be one-sided in the opposite direction to map 1. Here's something I've noticed too. Since adding the Viper into this composition, EG haven't actually been going for any large rubble control plays. They're not trying to throw snake bites early to stop PRX from gaining that area of the map. Maybe they've just decided it's too much to deal with the flash dizzy combos and mosh pit being thrown out. PRX do have a lot of utility to just unload all at once. And they're gonna go for it again. I mean, here's PRX once more. Flash dizzy combo, mosh pit, this kind of stuff, yep, to be able to take A early.
It's working. No reason to switch it up.
Jing's been able to sprint over to the A door within 5 to 10 seconds.
Nothing to stop him. Cage, flash. Cuts up the angles, Ethan.
And look, now they're using even less utility because they know that EG aren't contesting it.
Cam deep, Boostio's tag, Paranoia. They want to chase down this kill. Forsaken is eager for it. Already, what a shot! Reaction to that one, adjustments. Just the micro movements of the mouse. Have to give him the kill. Com, he's left to try and hold back. Again, this unrelenting pressure. He knows that there's a team building up behind him. Noise cut as well. Makes it feel like they could have just been walking themselves into B, but now as the door opens up, Trailblazer through along with a showstopper. Vulnerable up, okay, Com. Deals with the first piece, but they're already into the side, out wide. Mindfreak wins his fight, Ethan towards the back, and he has claimed 2. Brought them down to their knees. Blinded up though, Jorgamo. He's opened up wide, and this is an adjustment made still. The spike is out in the open.
And Ethan knows it.
Yeah. He's given up the space. Playing together now. Him and Demon 1 can hear the tap of the plant.
Spike planted.
Neural Theft back online. That's Forsaken. Again, doing damage and doing work. It's going to be spotting out these players. So they want to go for a play here. Device close to the flash. He backs away. Playing together now. Knowing that they doubled up. Dashed. Breaks up. One of the crosshair placements and sight lines. They know that Forsaken's up onto Heaven and they pick the timings just well enough. But maybe Demon 1 can do something with this. Only the one foul and to buy. Sky has been brutal at times, looking like the best player on the team. He's the one to shut that down before it really gets messy.
And he made the hero play too. Hiding inside the smoke, gets a pop flash out in order to make that round back in their favor. Bit of a missed input there from Jing. He threw another blast pack, stopped him from being able to shoot the showstopper, and offered Ethan a chance to win the round. But it's the Sky on the other side that's been doing the most for PRX when they need it.
Adios, adios.
Adios. Got a feeling. No breaks in the play, no pauses here. Straight out the replay within the first 5 seconds, already some action. It's the mound control. Taken up. Trailblazer and Boombot, again used together. Com's going to be using the snakebite to try and push them back once more, but saw that util cleaving through. It's forced a ton of rotations, and now they work their way over towards B. EG growled into the corner onto one of the extremities. Cage to get them in and cross up. Again, a potential sightline where somebody could be there. Jing, have you overstepped your boundaries? It's the 1-2 punch with the rest of his team, and they have toppled down. It's 3 versus 3. Divide. Left to hold down that mound control, so there's no attempt at the flank, but the lockdown is in play. And do they have anything to break this one? It doesn't look likely. Have to give it up. Can't play this one together.
Serious opportunity for EG.
The positioning now of these players, it should be more predictable. Smoke onto the defuse. Boostio should be granted half. Mindfreak has found the first. Half onto the defuse. Time has been bought. Here onto Heaven, though. They collapse onto them. PRX was 7, Josh. 7-2 being that scoreline. This is so damn one-sided.
EG just can't hold on. All of the close rounds, all of the close moments. Somebody on PRX steps it up. This time, CGRS with only his 2nd kill of the map, being able to find a timing past Demon 1, who was instructed to keep providing those cloudburst covers for the player on the defuse. PRX keep having an individual that makes the difference. And on top of all of this, EG can't figure out how to play the defense. They can't find a feel for the tempo. They keep getting punished early.
And potentially that lack of practice, swapping around the composition a bit last minute. Going to be hurting for that practice, that scrim time here. Forsaken seeking to, again, disrespect, just drag that util out of them, but Mindfreak does fall. Forsaken, no. He's not happy to give anything up, is he? He's alone when he's taking these fights.
Yeah, he's going to be so aggressive on the lurk in these kind of situations. Mindfreak went for something hyper-aggressive too. There was pressure towards A and C, so he decided just to go in on B through the Killjoy utility.
Deeper's jump spot, that baits in the push from Forsaken.
And this is going to be so hard to play without your smokes.
Lambot notifying them. Nade clears it out again. Familiar play that we've seen once before. Demon 1. He's going to do so much here. Showstopper from Jing out into the open. Misses the rocket wide. CGRS plan from the wingman. Dodging of the flash towards the back of the side. He's claimed the first. 2 more to deal with. Spike planted. Demon 1.
Almost a pre-fire, it was that quick.
God almighty. No time to react to that.
So EG finally get their first gun round on the board. A reminder that they were absolutely pasting PRX in terms of gun rounds to gun rounds in map 1. And now it's flipped on its head. It's still worrying for EG how they're holding on to door control. Mindfreak going for an over-aggressive play in B, realizing that they were relying on the Killjoy utility, just TPs past it, gets caught by Demon 1. But I'm still not content with how EG are playing the breakable door control. So often Jing is just throwing one nade into there, flushing a player out and getting a kill.
Yeah, it's always Boostio.
There's got to be adjustments, and Boostio is going to drop back to play C. Hard anchoring that spot.
2 rounds left and a half, 2 more chances.
This is another round where CGRS has the Thrash online. And this one's a major tool. It is so difficult to deal with, especially on a map like Lotus, where there's 3 sites and you tend to be more split up. Good luck spraying that shark down.
Yeah, 200 HP, difficult target to chew through. So pause in the play once more. Contacting, it's the name of the game. One-way smoke, but now eventually with the util brought back online, here's a nade over the top with the showstopper. Not quite the showstopper, but the satchels at least to take up all of that space and ground. Proxima was trying to TP onto the high ground to see if he can get a bit of a punish, but a bit of a whiff. And Spike has been planted, so into the post plan we go with PRX. Couple of layers to it. Jing's going to be the first one to receive, and well, look at that, shut down immediately.
He looks so sharp.
Towards the back of the site. Can they remove him? They can indeed, but they have so much more to get through. Towards the connector, Boostio's doing a decent job of things. He's already found his way onto the site, into the connector. He goes, halving the defuse, sticking it through. Boostio, he will not be denied. And EG collect themselves a nice little round there, 4-7. The setup there, PRX just too distracted on the flanks there to try and push them away from it.
Yeah, EG were retaken with 4 players coming from drop. Boostio with a major 2K. Caught off screen, but he's top fragging now for EG. Take a look at this replay. Here he is coming through for the punish on Jing, and then just drops down, deletes CGRS. Gets on the defuse, and it's not the greatest plant in the world. Wingman taking that into a bit of a difficult spot. Same defensive setup.
Yeah, that early Odin spam on the attack side. You can see that line of sight. The fire rate as well. Demon 1's dropped down, has to return back for the heal. Can't play the early aggressive angle here. And now you're setting up for CGRS with the ult. Fresh in his hands. Unleash now, paving the way to try and take this side up, but already lots of players grouped up. EG, 3 of them. It's PRX who want to try and take it in a different direction. Good paranoia. Cuts its way across, no kill to be claimed. Spike still planted again. It's not a good spot for it, really. You can't really spam from this angle. Seeker's in his face. Com, well, he's granted it. Near side, it does not matter. Judge in hand. Shotguns versus shotguns. And Com claiming 2. Towards the side now. Needs to be a fight taken. Good trade, but Demon 1 is instantly there. He's low, though. Has to back away. Someone has to get on his defuse. It's Ethan facing away. Back to the wall. Spam onto the corner. Will he go down? Will he fall? He will not. It's covered in time, and EG, that's a respectable finish to the round. Still down, 2-round deficit, but the half ends at least not in dire straits.
Yeah, EG have somehow saved this one. Ridiculous fashion these final 3 rounds. The Seeker caught Com inside the smoke, and yet there's no way Jing is expecting him to still be in there pushing forwards with a Judge. PRX taken off guard in the final couple by a defensive change-up in the setup. Now we head into the next half, and it's actually fairly even.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't be.
Fairly even. Chances here, of course. Let's send it down to Yinsu.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm joined by Benkai here. Now, Benkai, you've been here with this team before international tournaments. The first half, the first map, not the best, but this half has been a lot better. So talk me through what you made of this half.
I think we just caught EG really well with like the pace that we had at the start, like, and our aggressiveness. It just feels like we've been pretty much doing the same thing, and it just seems to work. So they're just gonna run with that throughout the whole map, I think.
Now for EG, they've never made a grand finals at an international tournament before, but you guys have. So what do you think that your boys need to do in this best of 5 to make sure that they do make another final?
I think they just need to keep their spirits and their moods high, because the way that we made the finals last year in Copenhagen was we just had a really good mood and everyone was feeling really confident, which does seem like they're having the time of their lives right now, like no matter what the score is. So I'm not really that worried about them not taking the map.
And lastly, very quickly, obviously you used to IG on the team, and now we're hearing the system is a little bit different. Would you be able to explain some of what's happening in the team right now in terms of the IGLing situation?
It sort of is everybody contributing at the same time, so each person will have their own input, like, oh, they are doing this at the start of the round, what can we do to prevent that from happening? And then they'll just form a plan around it together. So it's sort of like 5 people contributing together to make one round.
Wow, yeah. I mean, it's working right now, so thank you very much for joining me, Benkai. He's confident, so I'm confident as well. What about you, Saisho and Bren?
Got to keep the vibes going. I mean, that's the one thing we have learned about this PRX squad, you know, especially with them now dishing out this kind of IGLing duties across a lot of these players, 5 players, you know, coming up, formulating a plan. If the mood does get sour, it can put a bit of a dampener as well in terms of the comms and who's contributing to it.
If you wanted a team, though, to keep their spirits up, you'd be looking at PRX. I feel like they've done so much work for that. It's something that Alex has really pushed for them as well. They know that they need to keep spirits light, and I think that that's actually something that CGRS has been great at. Another pistol. They went 1 for 1 on map 1. And here, it could be all the difference made with this round.
Potential for EG to drag it even. PRX, though, they'd love to have a chance and an answer back here. Cam's going to be spotting them. Tap onto the plan. In fact, a full committal as well. Nade being used, Dizzy in their face. Nobody can see a bloody thing. And somehow, it's Mindfreak who comes out with the kill. Lots of damage being done. An attempt now and a call to flood right back out of this one. Com joining with the rest of his team. Got this crossfire set up. Mindfreak has opened up the door, and inside the smoke he has hunted out and sniffed out. Ethan is there. Wingman to the side, seeking the defuse. Demon 1 has to try and put the pressure out. He has to swing wide to try and break this one, but he cannot claim a kill in time. And PRX steal away that one. Pistol round is theirs.
It's rare you see Lil Bro win a round, but that puts so much pressure on Demon 1. Usually, he's in a spot there where he can try and play. He knows that he's going to be able to isolate a 1v1. This round, CGRS combos the Dizzy with the flash excellently to put pressure on people as the plant is going down. Then he's picking up kills, And he makes things almost impossible for Demon One to win the clutch. I've been so impressed with how PRX has taken an agent that is seeing almost no playtime in competitive Valorant and pushing it right to the top. They're making a tournament run with a Gecko 1 trick.
Yep.
This is absurd. And it looks good.
You'll be seeing teams experiment, Josh. Listen, don't get too carried away.
We saw teams experiment. To me, that's one of the wildest parts. We saw teams try to run the Gecko and they failed.
Yeah.
Early on in the season.
I was mainly talking about the idea of running 5 content creators on a team.
Oh,
and
right.
playing it at pro level. Let's not give Sentinel any more ideas, but...
they'd love that.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly would.
All right, so once more, both teams go 1 for 1 in pistols. And that's one of those strengths that I talked about for EG at the beginning of this tournament. It made them look utterly unstoppable.
Grouped up, gathered up. Trying to work their way into the side, smoke in their face. And with the Bulldog, it's all clean. Only the one casualty. That's Mindfreak. He'll be able to at least save his gun as well. Take it into the next.
Not the biggest ult in the world that you want to be generating, to be honest, but Mindfreak will be happy about it anyway. On the other side of things, Com is now 1 orb away from having his pit down. And if EG want any chance of being able to get back into this, they need to be leaning heavily into that ults generating, other ults generating rounds, the snowball, the avalanche. Com's actually playing this first part of the round alone, though. Just going to throw his orb down, at least to give him an opportunity to return back to A in the round.
Yeah.
See where he wants to play.
One way in the boombox to set it up, smoked across and a flash in the face of Mindfreak. He has to get out. Gives up the angle. It's 2 trips to play off of.
So Com's going to take this orb. Those trips are going to be dangerous in this half. We saw teams try and run the raise to be able to break those satchels, so useful. Demon One's going to have a little bit of a tough time, and especially if Com decides to do something like pit into C, those could be a big issue.
It's all been slowed down around the minute mark. Line up for a bit of global pressure, so this Trailblazer and a Snakebite, it's going to fake like they're taking it over towards A. The goal of this is to pull rotations back over towards that area of the map. It gives up C ever so slightly, but I mean, Mindfreak's not taking the bait. Jing looks like he wanted to, he's backing away, but again, now he's playing back towards C, still holding this paranoia, and here it is. Sails through, Vulnerable Duck in his face, TP's back out again. An idea and approach, these trips, will anybody be able to play off of it? Satchel to the side, it is latching onto them still. It's brute force, it's the name of the game for EG. Get themselves in, and the pit is down at their feet. Ethan covering the fire just as it blooms, an attempt, a chance, but Forsaken, only the one.
And I believe they're planted outside the pit there. Maybe I miss Zor.
Well, maybe a chance for them. Tavai is low though, can't quite get the crosshair on the target. Tavai revealing his position, bit of spam into the corner. 8 bullets left with the Bulldog. Just an impossibility with the Viper's pit in his face.
God,
look at that gap as well with the pit. I mean, there's a slightest gap there for Boostia to play in. Com, adjustment, a flick to the side, it shuts it down. So, 6-9. We said it was a must-win round for EG. Couldn't have let that one get out of their hands and let PRX get up to 10.
And they clearly had a game plan with that ultimate. I mean, that looks like a nerdy Viper ult.
30 seconds left.
Little gaps where they know how to support each other, how to be able to play in the post. Ethan, Com being able to play off each other immaculately there to trade out effectively. PRX love getting aggressive in these kind of spots.
Making a go of it. So hard to try and punish a player.
They didn't realize. They didn't know that Boostio was around the corner. If Jing had known, that nade is going through and they are blast packing onto him almost 10 times out of 10, I think.
So Boostia is able to escape. No damage being done to him, just the turret being broken. Nice mid-rounding from EG. Breaking a lot of the util. Cam was spotted out as well, which was broken. Dragging players over towards C, while the rest of the team now work and set their sights onto A.
And Ethan 1 away from his ultimate. With a little bit of A control, they might be able to grab some Seekers. that would put enormous pressure on CGRS.
Door's broken, Trailblazer leads it in. This makes it feel like, I mean, it feels like they're almost just going into B, but
it might bait CGRS to push through the smoke.
Still waiting. This smoke's surely going to be fading in any moment now. Yeah, the timer, the internal timer, CGRS's head, but Orb gain. Seekers pushing forwards. Bustio, he fell in the middle of all of this. He was lurking out towards the back line. Demon 1 is there. Takes care of CGRS, the lone player, onto the site. Plant to go down. Let's see how this post plant gets played.
Forsaken's just missed his cam, I think. He was trying to use it to clear out Com, or at least to give him some information.
Forsaken feels like there could be a player lurking through the main choke. It's an important fight to take. 3 players of PRX roofed up now. Here's Forsaken through, does not expect it, so taken care of. And now, the entirety of EG can set their sights towards the back of the site. Nade sails over the top. Tavai finds the first onto just Com. Satchel plays in, but time is starting to run really short here. Demon 1 still locking it down from the tree. Angle flash in their face. Backed around. Satchels. Full collapse. Body of PRX falling.
EG with an important one on the board here. Starting to generate a comeback and knocking PRX's economy down into the dumps. This exec off the Seekers worked very nicely. They increased the tempo, and in prior rounds, they faked A control. And CGRS has used his utility to re-clear that area. And that's part of how PRX have looked to generate their advantages, is by calling EG's bluff. That time CGRS, he was thinking about it. We saw him inside the smoke, wondering if he should try and gain that info back for his team. And he just ended up a little too close to the exec when it happened.
So with this timeout called, what is the adjustment now that needs to be made for PRX? Losing grip ever so slightly on this half.
And do you think they're discussing strategy? Or is it a vibe shift?
It might just be a vibe check, honestly, yeah.
It could be absolutely anything with a PRX timeout.
You just don't know.
Their comms videos are wonderfully crafted. I mean, really illuminating into what the team atmosphere looks like. But sometimes in these big matches, there is a single player that steps up. Forsaken said that it was him in that grand finals that they played. But they were crowned the victors over in Pacific. In moments like this, in an arena like this, sometimes you need a player to step up and take charge. Sometimes the hive mind has the struggles, has the wobbles, and you need a hero. So far in Masters Tokyo, they've been talking about how good CGRS was at that. But he's IGL for them in a couple of maps. Talk about unlikely heroes stepping up.
And here's an adjustment. 4 players to meet them. Take control of A. Mosh pit clears a route. I mean, you can't disrespect that piece of utility. You will be falling. They've earned that area of the map quite early. In fact, they've completely given up C. But they are on a half buy, so it's a good time to take risks like that. Maybe we'll see the adjustments as well that they were making towards the next one when they've got the money to buy up the guns. Chance of a timing. Forsaken with the Sheriff, who will grant him a sightline. Bustio, he's eager for it. The opportunity and chance.
And Con was trying to backstab these B players that were opening the door. Now he's getting crunched.
Yeah, he's the one who's going to be squeezed. Can't lose his rifles, can't give this one over. This is a little bit precarious. Right through, vulnerable. No, spams down 2. Enough damage done. CGRS, he holds it down, but there was help on the way. Ethan, ready to clean him up, make sure that rifle did not fall into enemy hands.
Very smartly played by Con. I think that's one of the big reasons why the Viper works so well against PRX. Just being able to vulnerable your opponents as they push you is a massive advantage. Didn't work out amazingly for Evil Geniuses on their defense side. But now, only 1 round separates these 2 teams. Ult advantage, though, very slimly, I would say, in favor of PRX here, with CGRS having Thrash online. It's good for information, it's good for applying pressure, retakes. Very versatile ultimate.
The beginning of this round, though, is going to be a quick dash towards the side of Rubble. With a flash over the top to supplement. Get some of that space towards A. Deep dart as well. Bustio was tagged up. Plenty of time, apparently, to adjust your aim enough and brings down Mindfreak. So, into the front of the site we go for EG. Clearing this one out. They don't know if the back of the site is compromised. Still going to have to potentially clear that one up, but just giving it up for now. Plant's going to go down. Nothing to dissuade it. Forsaken on the high ground. Not the best weapon for the job, is it, with the Odin? He's aiming for the heads, but almost gets taken down in response. And here's Thrash. You might start to see it really pay off here. Any sort of detainment will be nice. Spam onto the corner. Ethan, he brings down Jing, but detained. So, 1-for-1 trade. Players posted up. Far back angles. How do they approach this one with the defuse? They still have the wingman. Possibly get themselves onto it. That is beautiful. The Neuro Theft, it sets them up in the paper mache walls. They fall to pieces. Odin spam on top of it. That is just miraculous.
What a play! PRX looked fabulous there. They combined Trailblazer, Boombot, and Thrash together. So you can't possibly break them all. That gets them the opening into the site. And then the spam off the Neural Theft is... It's PRX to a T.
Yeah, that is
It's
delightful.
unusual, you don't think about it. Who else is playing Cypher on this map?
Right there.
Beautiful stuff. And the Boostio aggression giveth and it taketh away. As he found one and then got caught.
See how surprised Ethan was at that. Gonna brush it off though in these big moments. Here we go. Fight taken with the flash and a nade. Pushing them back once they realize that mound control. Oh, it's not quite there. And the Blade Storm's sailing right over the head. Is Mindfreak still alive? Him and Divide making it a painful exit. EG left scampering.
Uncommon failure from Demon 1 as Mindfreak picks up 4. I feel like if he was able to land a single Blade Storm, maybe the round could have been doable. Now that started with PRX reading the fact that they were going to take Boostio's lockdown to C and countering it immediately. Potter's going to instant call attack timeout after this, because getting caught by a trap play like that, I think is unacceptable for EG. Those kind of plays where they're off sound, alt orb tap, something like that in C are so common.
Yeah.
So common. And yet the big moment, the pressure, the speed that both teams have been playing at causes those kind of errors and mistakes.
It's the danger of playing against a team like PRX. They bait you in.
Yeah.
The faster plays, man. We've been hearing teams talk about it.
Definitely. That was something that EDG's coach talked about a ton. That they just got baited into playing the high tempo game and they couldn't hold on.
You don't keep the diligence. Like you said, you know, that trap play, that works. In that instance, right here, right now, maybe because this is a big game. You know, you're in this new arena, thousands of people watching you. Lower bracket finals, no more second chances.
Yeah. And I think one of the other ways that PRX baits you is that they do a lot of stuff that's based off timings and instinct. And then they'll throw a trap play at you, some set coordinated piece of defensive aggression on many of their maps that takes you off guard with how coordinated it is. And that's quite a standard trap play that they just showcased. But I think that really left EG relay.
Yeah, no something, no problem, man. This guy, he can't play. CGRS is in, stepping up for the team. Listen, not exactly the one-to-one in terms of the roles, but they are just plugging and playing him in with his Gecko knowledge here. And now PRX up to 11.
Boostio's gone for an attacking operator to try and deal with what PRX are up to.
It's interesting. How's he going to clear this close corner? Because look, it's CGRS. He's posted up deep onto rubble.
I mean, this is exactly where the Snakebite lineup goes if Com wants to send one in.
They do have util to clear it. At least the lineup in the back mines, we've seen Com use it.
There's actually more of an aggressive fight happening over at C. Jing, full blind, still holding W, tucking himself into the corner.
He does not care. Look at the disrespect being shown. He does not care. Tanking 2 of the flashes. TP across, setting it up with a jump spot. Divide looking for that information. Punish with the attack side up, so finally revealed.
And that'll be a surprise for PRX too. The operator coming out.
Not expecting it.
Where are EG going with this? 45 seconds. It's time for a lockdown, and it looks like they're going to take B control.
Lockdown, door opens up, an attempt to try and punish this one. There's a fight being taken as well, punishing it all over towards Mound. Jing is there. He's going to hold on, shots right through the wall. Lockdown's going to be getting off here. Fight needs to be won. Backing away with the satchels. No players detained, and the site is theirs. Viper's Pit. Drop through. Wallbang spam angles. They got lineups on lineups for days, but Demon 1 will put down any sort of funny business with the very funny gun. No chance in hell. Demon 1 is ripping off heads and taking names off the list, isn't he? Single-handedly making this one winnable.
It's a great game plan from EG too. Looked like CGRS was going to be difficult for them to deal with over by Rubble. They just ignore him completely. I like the patience, too, that EG demonstrated in this round. Jing was a constant problem for them. And so they dealt with all of the supportive elements and have left Jing until the very end to mop up. Don't offer him any early fights. Pick off his support with an operator, head to the other side of the map, and use your ults to be able to get into a site exec properly. It's nice. It gets EG up to 9, but PRX is still in control of this map.
For most of this map, it's felt like there's just been that 2-round deficit. You think back to the half as well, when it was 7-5, it's just been carried all the way forwards.
Definitely.
The narrowest of leads, still held by PRX, still in control.
And an operator on the field. For Devi over on the C site, not going to be contested early. Instead, the clash at Rubble.
Oh my!
And it's Boostio's up that comes out on top.
It's a flash over the top that was not detted. CGRS was trying to play anti-flash. That's why he's back towards all of them. Trip's going to be cleared out.
Sacrificial trailblazer just goes to take the trip. And now that forces PRX to go for info peaks.
Not what you want to do when you're up against the operator.
Not at all. Boostio's on such an aggressive, risky angle here, though.
Man. I mean, he spots it, and there it is. Another one for the collection. Now, when he opened, though, he had Util in his hands, and the cage cut him up from the rest of his team. There was no follow-up. Forsaken tucks himself into the corner.
No way.
Into the box. Is this going to get cleared? Some level of foresight. It's there, and a re-swing. Spammable through the box. Team 1 dashes forwards. Maybe not intended. Chocobo, he's got his back. Coverage in the moment. 40 seconds in the round. Plenty of time to take a breather, but they opt to take the spike and get the plant anyway. It's Devi left in that 1v2.
Giving away his position with the flash.
Yeah, and he's only got the op to do it. Smoke in his face. Paranoia. Sensory deprivation. Doesn't know where they are. Silent drop down. Still contact. Choose to use it. Ult popped off.
Clearing back
through into the back. It's pinged out. I think they know the device here. Tap onto it. It's a weird plant location. Door rotates. He hears it. The footsteps perfectly sound baiting, perfectly noise baiting. There was no tap from Devi. So it didn't exactly force the issue from EG, but they chose to take the fight anyway.
So EG pick another one out and drop PRX's economy down into rough territory. Not impossible. But ever since Boostio has gotten this operator online, EG have found
one enemy remaining.
Victories out of it. I think it tames Boostio a little bit too. Some of his lurk timings have been overly aggressive, trying to make a play, desperate to drag his team back into contestation on this map. And now he's been able to find a lot of good opening fights. It's also slowed their tempo down. Instead of having to react to PRX, they can control it and fight purely for map control, going into some kind of execute or push up towards the site with a few, 40 seconds, something like that on the clock.
Last time out for PRX. Everything used. You've got to bring this one over the line. It's a best of 5, sure, but you don't want to go 2 maps down in a series, not when this one was so winnable.
PRX would not be unfamiliar with being 2 maps down in a BO5 and coming away with the win anyway. If you recall, they are the first team in VCT history to reverse sweep a BO5. Previously saw it in Game Changers, but it took up until the Pacific Grand Finals against DRX for a reverse sweep to happen in this circuit. So they know they can do it. You'd never want to be in that spot, though. No. Especially when this has been your map pick to start the series.
Ten to 11.
That's close. That's trying to catch Mind Freak on the jiggle.
More than dangerous. Bush is like, I think I'll take this. Okay.
While facing away to dodge any kind of trap flash setup. Though having said that, not as good against a Paranoia, which is frequently used in that kind of position.
Just the stingers. Maybe a rifle for CGRS. Deep flash, they know that nobody's tucked behind the box.
And Boostio's going around the map, hoovering up the ult orbs.
And one more left to gain. This game plan, you've got to be aware of it, but I don't think PRX really have any of the tools, high pen weapons to try and do damage to it. Could be aware of this one though. Look at this lineup. Where's this one going to land? Mosh pit.
I mean, it looks like it could be on I don't know. I mean,
yeah, not too sure.
It can't be on the alt orb. It must be for rubble. But where's the contact for that?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Here's Dizzy. Information gathered. That collects onto a cacophony of players, all grouped up. Beautiful work. And they have absolutely turned EG into mincemeat.
We were wondering how on earth they were going to stop EG from picking up that final ult orb, and I've never seen a play like that.
Yep, Dizzy through the tiniest of margins, over the top, into the ceiling. Mind Freak. He's got to put a stop to this one. Smoke lets them cross in. Paranoia up. There's no real time to play with. Through the smoke, Comstall lands the shot, but where is the spike? It's in his hands, and he needs to plant it now.
He's just saved them.
Time running so damn short, but I think they've just got enough to extend it. Brought it into it. Yeah, here's the post plant. Ob still in the hands of team, and one! Here's another one. Right for him, pushing deep into the spawn now, over the top, over the heads, Dizzy, lands Jing, he hasn't spotted it. Ships in the night, Commerce lurks right behind them, and they are none the wiser, clearing out everything. I cannot believe it. It's planted for him. A tap, he knows it. Com may have just made a massive play. One to save the map, a tap onto it, misses the shot, no bullets. Has to go for the reload, another tap, forcing it, snakebite, doesn't know if it connects, has to be a wide face, half onto the defuse, it's shut down. But my God, what a chance. What an attempt by Com.
An unbelievably smart play to try and win the clutch there. But credit has got to go to PRX for that trap play that we witnessed over towards A. That's what really seals this round. What on earth is this? Dizzy combo with Flash, they open the door, wingman out, players pushing through the breakable door, which was softened up earlier on.
Yeah, that's what 1,000 hours of Gecko looked like, apparently.
And also, an impeccable read on what EG were doing. You look at Tab, you see Boostio's taking one ult orb, two ult orbs, you know he's going A.
This is it, precipice for the map. PRX, only one step away, out in the open. Boostio does not know which way to stand.
And that's the lockdown gone.
Yep.
Made to look silly, foolish by PRX.
And they left scrambling into the sight lines. Divide with the operator, straight down mid. It's EG that are being picked apart here, looking for any available option. You go one way, it's an operator, you go the other way. It's a Cypher setup. Cross-section of wires in the traps. All you gotta do is drop down and you're gonna be punished. Showstopper around the side, Ethan's there, Jorgama forwards. Can they really make something of this? Trailblazer, round the side, it catches onto Mind Freak, and of course the punish is there. How has this turned? No reactions inside Jorgamo. Taking matters into his own hands. For the map. They want to see the extension in play. CJRS pushing through the smoke is instantly there. Shut down. What was that from EG?
A small smile on the face of Ethan. He knows that they've just absolutely robbed PRX. Forsaken was in his camp watching all of this happen. How have those bullets gone through that wall to kill Jing? And then all of the aggression, proactivity coming out from Ethan's flashes. That's masterful. And it's dropped PRX down into a shoddy bye for this, the final round of regulation, all on the line.
What a chance. It's been slipped out of the fingers of PRX. Could have been their map, grouped up towards mid. They're going to seek to punish. Still the turret in their face. What are they waiting for? They hear the Trailblazer towards Mounds. There's nothing to push this one back, but still holding this Paranoia. A ping onto the corner.
I mean, the traps have worked.
But what are they hunting for? Flash, wide face, and swing, it's collected. Well, it's just about landing.
And Com too slow. That one just taken off for timing. They were hoping to take contact early, didn't, decide to re-clear it anyway.
What a way to get rewarded with one of the very few rifles you really had, maybe. There's a chance now. Big player advantage. The team of one falling. A lot of the initiative that's going to be in this round is going to be taken away from them. You don't have your jet player.
It's not a disaster just yet. They have lockdown Seekers to work with.
Seekers, Ethan, trying to make this one feel like an A hit. Breaking through the door, following up behind it. It's not too much else pushed up behind. Only the Seekers, though, they have pulled players all the way into spawn. I mean, PRX are just collected there. It's like the round's just begun, man. 30 seconds remaining, and it's the double back, the double fake. EG are running right into this one. It's been read by PRX with the Seekers of their own. It's spelled out disaster, lockdown. It has to be used to clear this one forwards. Plant, an opportunity and a chance to Saken. Seeking to take the timing, but he's gonna be punished.
Com's holding their back.
All the way further, all the way back towards Rubble. punishing onto the Vi. And here's the Thresh now. Has to try and get some sort of detainment, but it's a scattering of players. EG not giving him a glimpse, not giving him a chance. 2 left standing here. No more rifles. Smoke's dropped down. Mindfreak seeking to clear through. The fuse started by the wingman, but no damage, not enough done. The shorties, they break it down. Half on the defuse, maybe an opportunity, but no. Brought down to the knees. EG all the way.
An absolute miracle hero play from everybody across the team in round 23, sorry, and then immaculate calling from Boostio. That is mastermind. He has, in every sense of the world, finessed them there.
Nice, let's go.
The Hive Mind was able to take down the Mastermind just for PRX to get into this match, but that was a beautiful round from EG to be able to get them into overtime. Pushing and pulling. And the 7-5 half ended up getting recovered.
Breaking at the 4th wall there, but here we go, getting into OT. 12-12.
Cover going out.
EG to pull off something ridiculous to even make it possible. PRX.
This is a different setup, Brent. We talked about how EG adjusted their defense in order to start winning those 3 rounds at the end of the first half. Now Boostio's hard anchoring A with all of his Killjoy utility here. I don't think he did this once.
Double door here, Boostio's just trying to get his eyes on the traces. Bit of counter spam maybe in order, but no kills to be found, no damage either. The nanoswarm's already been cleared. It's the bait and switch, and they wait out the util. Here's a satchel play. What is that? You can always count on Jing, and he has just broken apart the defense in the blink of an eye. Movement so clean. Jogamo seeking to deny. There's the plan. Disrupted with 2 kills there, dodging off the showstopper. Nade at his feet, round to the corner. Jing will not let him get away with it.
TikTok Omen put to bed, and Jing opens and closes the round to get PRX up to map point. You can feel it, they are fired up for this.
Can't believe the movement here, I mean.
What an entry. Yo, what? I mean, it's 2 improbable entries, one after another. Just to break PRX in.
Yeah, and no one's ready for it. No one can trade it. Fade out on Nanoswarm. Trailblazer leads the charge. Right back into it. PRX now, again, 1 more chance.
Devi's got an op over at C. Their Sky player has bought an op in overtime.
Definitely a certified PRX moment here. Cam tagging. Hopping away here. Tom got to break away from the action. Here's a mosh pit. Wingman round to the side. That's a snake bite. Let's try and push back this aggression. This time, everything is contained.
This time, they're ready for it. The incredible PRX trap ends up biting them instead.
Kills collected. Mindfreak pushing through the smoke, though. Risks have to be taken. TP was heard. Spamming into the smoke. Which direction did you really want to go in here, though? See the diligence, just using that util against the box there, onto the close corners in case somebody was hiding.
They know the positioning of Mindfreak roughly. He gave it away with the paranoia about 5 seconds ago.
30 seconds left, Josh. They're going into B here, into the connector. Jing, he hasn't been dealt with. Still has a nade and a satchel. Jing, he's pushing forwards into them. He's taking a 2nd kill away from. Satchel's still there. Nade on top, 20 seconds remaining. It has to be a quick pivot, but right into the arms and sightline of Mindfreak. Blinded up, does not matter. Still here's the shots. Spike, drop behind the wall, time running short. Still only 12 seconds, Jogamo, he cleans him up. He's carving out a path. Maybe onto the site themselves. Com, he needs to get this plan down with only 5 seconds left. Brought down, stunned out. Com has to stick it, a rocket wall close. Jing is a monster.
Both rounds of overtime, Jing puts on a masterclass. What on earth was going through Evil Genius's head in that final round when they went for the B pivot and weren't possibly aware of Jing's positioning? What an opportunistic play. Over 300 ACS Jing finishes that map with.